What's going on, everybody? My name is Monster, and welcome to the Week 0 chopping block. First off, I want to say this video is hella late, and that's 100% my fault. I've been playing a shit ton of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and I can't put the game down. So I've been very behind on my uploads for like everything. I'm behind on my channel. I'm behind on this channel. So I do apologize. This video is going up late. It should have gone up like last Thursday or something, and today is Monday. It'll probably go up today as well. So yeah, I sincerely apologize for that, but we do have a scheduled date for this to be uploaded, and I think it's Wednesday or Thursday, something like that. So to give you an idea of what chopping block is, it's basically waiver wire from GBA. But I decided to call it chopping block because I think it gives me a nice transition in between each pick. But yeah, so it's basically just a weekly series where I talk about stuff that hasn't been drafted yet. I'll give a few example sets for the mons, and then I'll like list their strengths whenever I first introduce them, and then I'll list their weaknesses after I give a few sets and stuff. I just kind of give my general thoughts on the mons that I think should have been drafted but haven't been drafted or haven't been picked up. So yeah. As I said, this is the Week 0 chopping block. Week 1 is obviously already done, so I have to film the Week 1 chopping block too. As I said, this video is late. So, yeah, but just to get started, so like first up on the chopping block is Latios. Latios is a phenomenal dragon and psychic type. It's obviously one of the Lati twins, so it's very good. It hits really hard with its dual stab. Definitely a really big threat. It's a good Z move user as well. Getting stuff like getting a lot of coverage like Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, just all kinds of stuff. And it's also a really good utility mon. It's bulkier than Latios is, and it gets stuff like Healing Wish, Defog, stuff like Reflect type is cool. And stuff like that. It gets Trick as well, so it's a really well-rounded Pokemon, very versatile. And I think it's really solid. And I think it's crazy that it hasn't been picked up yet. I don't think I've ever seen one of the Laddies not go drafted in a league before because they're both so good. But yeah, so the first set that I have for Latios is kind of the most common set, I think, which is the Choice Scarf set. The EV spread is pretty standard, stuff like that. Obviously, I didn't mention this before, but Latios is also a nice ground immunity for teams that are particularly ground weak. But yeah, so Scarf set is really, really solid. It's already really fast. I believe it's base 110 if I'm not mistaken. I'm probably wrong on that. I get speed tiers wrong a lot. But yeah, this set is really good. You just hit with your dual stab, and then you use stuff like Healing Wish and you're about to die, or you trick something in your Scarf that otherwise wouldn't want a Scarf, like an Eviolite user or something like that. It's definitely a really good set, and yeah, I think it has a lot of strengths. So the next set is the Z-move set. On Smogon, the Z-move of choice was Dragonium Z. I've seen Electrium Z more often on the UU ladder, so I decided to list it there as well. So you can run Dragonium or Electrium, and probably your best bet. Obviously, if you're running Dragonium, you're going to be using Draco Meteor. Then you can run Psychic or Thunderbolt. Obviously, if you're going to be running Electrium Z, you're going to have Thunderbolt. Then you just bring a recovery move like Roost or Recover, and then you have Calm Mind to boost your Z move, which is really solid there. Definitely a really, really threatening set for sure, especially with Calm Mind. If you let Calm Mind get out of hand, then you just lose the game. And then in the next set, we have the Soul Dew set, which is basically just like it's like normal Latios, but you can either do 3 attacks with a utility move like Defog, Healing Wish, Trick, or something like that, or it can just be 4 attacks. If you're to do 4 attacks, you'll probably just run Ice Beam. As I said, Latios gets good coverage with Bolt Beam, and yeah. So I think this is a really solid set too. It just increases the Dragon and Psychic stab basically. Really solid set. Definitely hits pretty hard. I don't think it's a particularly good set. I don't think it's better than the Scarf set, and I don't think it's better than the Z Move set. But I think it's a good set nonetheless. So next we have the kind of like the wacky set that people run in draft leagues sometimes, depending on the matchup, which is actually the Reflect type set. Honestly, I don't know much about this set. Ian will be able to tell you more about it. I assume that the item would be leftovers. What the EVs in the nature were like whatever you think they need to be against your opponent's team. Then obviously you run Reflect type to like trace a typing on another mon. Like Steel type is a particular one that's pretty popular. Then you have a recovery move, and you can either run like mono attacking with like one attack move and Calm Mind, or you can just run double coverage. Generally, Bolt Beam is what you would run there. I think it's a really solid set, and it can really catch your opponents off guard too. It really keeps your opponent on their toes for sure, because Latios again is so versatile and stuff like that. So in terms of what Latios is bad at, or its weaknesses, I suppose. I think it's very knockoff weak. Obviously, that secondary psychic typing hinders it a little bit, I think. I think secondary psychic typings in general really aren't that fantastic because they make you a lot more weak to dark moves such as knockoff. And Latios is very easily pursuit trapped. If Latios goes for a move on an incoming steel type that has pursuit, it is going to get pursuited, and it is most likely going to die or take like 80% of its health. It's very easily pursuit trapped. A lot of things run pursuit coverage for it because they can. And that's definitely a really big weakness for Latios, for sure. I think it's crazy that Latios hasn't been picked up yet because it's a really, really good mon with like minimal weaknesses if you can cover up those dark weaknesses, and I think it's really solid. So next up on the chopping block is Azumarill. Fun fact, I despise Azumarill. I hate Azumarill so much. It's like my most hated mon in sixes. I cannot stand Azumarill. It's such a dumb Pokemon in my opinion. And it has a wide variety of sets that it can run too. This thing hits like a truck. It can tank hits like a tank. It's just a phenomenal mon, especially in draft league format because of the wide variety of sets it can run. It's ridiculous. But to get into the first set, we have the very typical Choice Banded set with its ability Huge Power, obviously boosting that attack stat quite a bit. You run Aqua Jet Knockoff, play Rough Liquidation. It's pretty much what you would do there. I think this is a really solid set again. With Huge Power and Choice Band, Azumarill hits like a truck. But honestly, this set isn't really the main reason I hate Azumarill. I hate Azumarill because of this set. I think the fact that it gets Huge Power and Belly Drum is pretty broken. And I think if you're going to run the Belly Drum set with no Z move, then you just run Citrus Berry 100% of the time. And with this set, you don't need Liquidation because you have Huge Power and you'll be +6. Aqua Jet's going to be killing everything in Liquidation would anyway. So you just run Knockout, Play Rough, and Belly Drum. And it's definitely a really threatening set. If you get up to +6 for free and you can just spam Aqua Jet on things, it is very hard to kill Azu for sure. And then the next set obviously is the Normalium Z set with Belly Drum, so you can heal yourself and then go down to 50%. So you can have a Azumarill pretty low, then go for Z Belly Drum, heal back up to full, and then take 50%. Definitely a really solid set there as well. It basically does the exact same thing that I just said, but it basically makes it to where you can take a few hits before you go for a Belly Drum, which is pretty good. Definitely a really scary set too. And then the last set that Azumarill has kind of been known for in the UU ladder is the Perish Trap set. So obviously Azumarill gets Huge Power, but another thing it gets is Sap Sipper, and it being a water type, that is broken. It cannot be hit by grass moves, and it actually increases its attack if it gets hit by a grass move. So you just run Sap Sipper with max HP, max defense, bold, and you just whirlpool something and you trap it. and then you go for Parasong so you can kill it with Protect and stuff, so you can stall out Paris turns, and then you just switch. I have Rest on there as a last move because I don't know what the last move should be. I would assume it is Rest most of the time. But yeah, this set is just ridiculous to deal with sometimes. It can be very hard to kill it if you don't bring something for it, for sure. And in terms of what Azu was weak to, or just not very good at, it is generally pretty slow. I don't know its exact speed tier, but it pretty much relies on Aqua Jet when it has a belly drum up. And it is very, very slow. You can pretty easily revenge it if it doesn't have Aqua Jet or something like that. And it is walled a lot by Bulky Waters with Recovery. It doesn't have a good way to hit Bulky Waters with Recovery. From what I saw, it does not get Thunder Punch. So if you have something like Melodic or Gastrodon, then they're pretty much going to just wall Azumarill, and it can be pretty easily phased out too, like by stuff like Skarmory and Avalugg or Empoleon or something like that. Anything that gets Roar or something, you can. Anything that gets Roar with Sturdy is a good way to phase out Azumarill if it sets up a belly drum in your face. I know I've done that in particular to Magic in a game before with Avalugg. Yes, just it's because it's so slow. It can be very easily phased out with Roar or Whirlwind or something like that. Dragon, or not Dragon Tail, it's a fairy type. But anything like that definitely is solid. So yeah, that is it for the week 0 chopping block. I feel like I had a lot of sets to go over, and I feel like 2 Mons an episode is generally okay. I might bump it up to 3 depending on how long this video is in the next one. We'll see. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. I do hope you appreciated my analysis. Hopefully it was up to par. And I do think it's crazy that these 2 Mons went completely undrafted. Azumarill is obviously just a ridiculous threat in Draft League, and Latios is a really good utility Mon in Draft League. So, yeah, really shocked that these weren't drafted. But yeah, that is the week 0 chopping block. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. My channel is going to be down in the description below. Be sure to check that out. Have a nice day.